Have you ever wondered what stories the mountains would tell us if they could speak? The Himalayas, a name that brings to mind snow-capped peaks, endless valleys hidden in the clouds, and rivers roaring through deep gorges. But behind this beauty lies silence, a silence that hides secrets darker than you can imagine. Picture this, a lake, frozen most of the year, but when the summer sun melts the ice, its waters reveal a terrifying sight. Hundreds of human skeletons, skulls, ribs, femur bones, floating beneath the crystal clear water. This is not a scene from a horror movie. This is real. And the name of this place is Roopkund, the skeleton lake of India. I'm your friend Jatin Sharma, and today I will take you to the frozen heights of the Himalayas to uncover secrets buried for over 1,000 years. Secrets that may never be fully solved. So stay with me, because once you hear this story, it will stay with you forever. Roopkund Lake lies in the Chamoli district of Uttarakhand, India, at an altitude of nearly 16,500 feet. It is small, only about 130 feet wide, but what it hides is beyond imagination. The journey to get here is long and dangerous. You trek through dense forests, icy slopes, and rocky ridges. As you climb higher, the air becomes thin, each breath harder than the last. But all the hardship disappears when you finally stand before the lake. For most of the year, it is frozen solid. But when the ice melts in summer, the lake gives away its secret, and human skeletons start to surface. Hundreds of them. Their bones scattered along the banks, their skulls staring at the sky, like a silent army of the dead. The villagers living in these remote mountains have known about this for generations. For them, this lake is cursed. An old villager once said to me, "Son, never stay at that lake after dark. The souls of those skeletons still wander around it." And indeed, the legends about Roopkund are chilling. One of the most famous tales speaks of King Jasdaval of Kanauji, who, around the 9th century, set out on a pilgrimage to honor the goddess Nanda Devi. He was accompanied by his queen, Rani Balampa, along with hundreds of soldiers, servants, dancers, and porters. But what was meant to be a holy journey slowly turned into a traveling festival. Music, dancing, alcohol, all in a land where silence and reverence were required. According to legend, this angered the goddess, and near Roopkund the skies suddenly turned black. Thunder roared, and from the heavens hailstones began to fall. But not ordinary hailstones. These were as hard as rock, as big as cricket balls. They crashed onto people's heads, shattering skulls instantly. Within minutes, the entire caravan was wiped out. Their bodies fell into the lake, and the ice preserved them for centuries. Now, you might think this is just folklore. But modern science tells us something shocking. In 1942, a British forest ranger stumbled upon these skeletons. At first, authorities believed they might belong to Japanese soldiers who died during World War II. But when tests were done, the truth was far stranger. Carbon dating revealed the bones were more than 1,200 years old, dating back to around 850 AD. And the skulls? Almost all of them showed deep circular fractures, not from weapons, not from war, but from something falling directly from above. The injuries match perfectly with the story of massive hailstones. Then, in 2004, a team of Indian and European scientists studied the bones again. What they found shocked everyone. The skeletons did not belong to a single group. Some belonged to local Himalayan people, but others had DNA tracing back to the Mediterranean region, thousands of miles away. How did people from such distant lands end up here, in one of the most remote corners of the Himalayas, over 1,000 years ago? There are many theories. Some say it was indeed a religious pilgrimage where locals and foreigners traveled together. Others believe it was a trade caravan trying to cross the mountains, but caught in a deadly storm. And some suggest a deadly epidemic killed them all, and the cold preserved their bodies. But villagers will tell you something else entirely. A shepherd once said to me, "We never camp near the lake at night. Sometimes, when the wind howls, you can hear voices, like singing, like old songs carried on the breeze." Trekkers have also reported chilling experiences. One traveler recalled, "We arrived during the day. The water was clear, and I bent down to take a photograph of the skulls. Suddenly, I saw one of them shift slightly in the water. I thought it was my imagination, but when I looked again, it felt like one skull was looking straight at me." Another group of young trekkers once stayed overnight near the lake. At midnight, they heard singing, a low, haunting melody with no source. When they searched, the lake was empty, yet the sound lingered. Scientists dismiss these stories as illusions, the product of exhaustion, thin air, and the eerie silence of the mountains. But locals are certain. These are the spirits of the dead, still bound to the lake by the goddess's curse. Even today, anyone who dares to take bones or stones from the lake is said to meet with misfortune. Some have fallen ill. Others have died in strange accidents. Coincidence? Or the curse of Roopkund? Friends, the mystery of Roopkund remains unsolved. 1,000 years have passed, yet no single theory explains it all. Was it divine punishment? A freak hailstorm? A pandemic? Or something else? Something we may never fully know? But one thing is certain. Roopkund is not just a lake. It is a time capsule of death, a frozen riddle of human history, and a reminder of how small we are against the power of nature and perhaps the divine. So next time, if you ever find yourself in the Himalayas and someone says, "Let's trek to Roopkund," think twice, because the path is not only difficult, it may also take you face to face with those who never left. I'm your friend Jatin Sharma, and if you enjoyed this mysterious journey, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon. Because in the next episode, I'll take you to a place where people believe time itself stops. Until then, stay curious, stay safe, and remember, some mysteries are better left unsolved.